Hello and welcome to the 14th edition of Notebook. I'm your host, Jim Tuttle. On this edition, we'll be visiting the high school, Park, Terrell, and McGinn schools. In our first segment, we'll be at the high school where, on a field trip, Dr. Arlene Riegel's computer students are demonstrating some of their projects in the Liberty Science Center.
Hello, this is Arlene Riegel. I am math teacher at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School. Our 9th grade accelerated geometry students were invited to participate at Liberty Science Center presenting their math projects. We were one of 2 schools that were invited for the week of celebration of mathematics projects. As you can see, as we zoom through the area where we were presenting the various projects and the cooperation that our students had with the different visitors. In this particular area, you now can see models, 3-dimensional models that the students constructed. In another area, you can see demonstrations of egg designs, which illustrated our symmetry, rotational and translational symmetry. And right now, students are organizing themselves just prior to the entrance of the visitors to the day at Liberty Science Center. Students are tessellating, finding music in geometry, and creating their own musical compositions. And they perform them that day, finding Penrose tiles in the regular pentagon, creating their egg designs with the help of Mrs. Maggie. Again, always seeing geometry in what they do. Visitors participating. And all of the work that you see was created by our students for this particular day. We were very well received. And as you can see, Mrs. Maggi has a captivated audience. And there are students again, showing their geodesic forms, their tangrams made from regular pentagons. There the students are assembling kaleidoscopes, attempting to show the younger students how they can be constructed from simple slides. And right now you can see our students attempting to assemble a structure that will hold weight, and that is made of paper. So we have paper bridges. And I think that many of the visitors were quite amazed to know that geometry was really an active, dynamic kind of course of study, in the sense that with so many hands-on activities available to them, they could hardly believe it. As you can see, there is a bridge. That is a wooden bridge that the students challenged others to construct and then stand on. And the idea is that it can hold weight because of the one keystone. Here our students are assembling 3D models that change their shape. Again, questions are always asked in class as to why this can occur, what would be the purpose of such a shape. We look at it both architecturally as well as an art form, and as well as its purpose. And throughout the day, our attempt was to try to have visiting students participate in our activities, leaving with a sense that geometry is a study of dynamic forms where one can see patterns and one can appreciate the environment in which they live. And also a sense of appreciation. So many of our students are talented in the musical area, and we challenge them to create music, but to look at their music in the way of a transformation, which is a slide, a glide, a rotation. And another way, we also challenge our students to use the technology to study their mathematical concepts. And there you can see students using geometric sketchpad. I think we had quite a few adults being amazed too at the construction of our kaleidoscope. They were very beautiful. And at the same time, when the students explained how they constructed them, it seemed so easy. It did take quite a bit of time and effort, as the egg demonstration did also. So we did, for the day, gather quite a few people's interest. And at the same time, we had an opportunity to participate in the activities that were available at Liberty Science Center. And for many of our students, it was their first time at the center. And there you can see many of the shapes taking different forms. An idea that Buckminster Fuller in the 1940s introduced. There's our bridge building. Penrose tiles come from the regular Pentagon, and some of the students were challenged to create a three-dimensional model, which is not an easy task. And you might see them attempting to assemble that to tessellate in space. Our students are working with tangrams that our students created from the Pentagon. Our students would like to thank Dr. Faith Spitz and Cindy Mendelson for helping make our day such a worthwhile trip for us, and also to Mr. Tuttle and Mr. Wyatt for assisting in making the video for the day, and for all the supervisors that came along, and especially thanks to Liberty Science Center for having our students realize that the work and effort they put into their work during the course of the year really has a meaningful place in the study of geometry. This, of course, as you see, is our Lego Logo project for students whose light sensors and touch sensors in computer science and learn to program the gadgets that they create. Which Liberty Science Center is planning actually to do in cooperation with us. They have quite a few ideas, and we're quite fascinated to see some of the projects that students created. And we're impressed with their work and their knowledge of how light sensors, touch sensors can be programmed. So we may be hearing from them in the near future to cooperate with them.
Christy, I'm rolling tape now. So you can wait for your mom. Your mom probably won't even see this. In our second segment, let's go to Park, where we'll see and hear some segments from their spring choral and band concert. Terrell Middle School will be the focus of our third segment. There, the 7th graders experience what it was like to be an immigrant to the United States, as the entire gym has been turned into a replica of Ellis Island.
What you are looking at is a replica of the arrival hall at Ellis Island, the site where over 1.4 million immigrants were processed upon their arrival in the United States. The first station that immigrants usually went through was a literacy test where immigration officials measured their competency and their intelligence. People suspected of being idiot or illiterate were sometimes deprocessed and deported. The area of processing dealt with the medical inspection. Here, immigrants were examined for contagious diseases, also genetic disorders, and a doctor and or a nurse would sometimes use the inscription of a white X to indicate an immigrant who had been refused admittance, an immigrant who would be examined later and oftentimes held or deported. Once the immigrant had been processed through the literacy and medical exam, immigration inspectors would then examine their papers to indicate where they were going in this country, if they had any relatives that were here to meet them, and most important of all, did they have the prospect of a job and a place to live? It symbolically represented our nation's attempt to accept all immigrants. At least 5% were deported and another 3% detained. So the land of honey, streets paved with gold, turned out for many immigrants to be one of harsh realities. Experience for most immigrants newly arrived in this country was to be employed in a sweatshop area, either at home, mostly at home, where they did work by piecemeal, were paid ridiculously low wages and required to work long hours. A major area which saw immigrants being processed was the baggage room. And in the activity that we try to duplicate today, students are encouraged to bring a suitcase, a parcel, even a knapsack containing their most precious belongings, similar to the groups and individuals you see pictured on the wall of the baggage room. From here, they would go next door to the currency exchange area, where immigrants would exchange their foreign currency for American dollars. And for most of them, it was their opportunity to buy a railroad ticket, which would take them off the island, usually into New York City, for train destinations north and west. For those immigrants who failed any one of the areas, literacy, medical, immigration inspection, even the currency exchange area, they were labeled and detained in the detention center, some never seeing the streets of America, some deported almost as soon as they had arrived.
Namen?
Shannon McMullen.
Who's next?
Country of origin?
Paperwork.
Ireland.
Can you tell me your name, please?
Turn around.
And Kathleen, where are you coming from today? Good
On the
show.
trip over, what boat did you take?
Hold on a second. I have to find the boat.
End of the line, please.
Do you have relatives in
Next.
the country?
Name?
Do you have relatives in the United
Anne
States?
McMullen.
Are you going to see your brother?
Any relative to the one that just went to the end of the line?
Yeah.
What?
What is the state of your health?
mama.
Are you a healthy person? Have you
Your
had
country of
any,
origin?
Persistent
Ireland.
cough. Does anyone in your family have persistent cough?
Turn around.
Brothers and sisters?
What was the name of the ship?
All right. I see your passport name in your list. First name is Gennaro,
Sure.
and your last name?
Guido.
Guido. All right. Looks like you have dark brown hair and dark color eyes brown. This is you. Looks like you. Okay. Now, would you mind telling me you came from Italy? I noticed on your application here, in your manifest, you crossed off yes, and you put down no in prison. Are you sure you weren't in prison in Italy?
I thought that said, are you a person at first? Then I reread it.
So therefore, you have never been arrested.
Sure.
Because in America, you have to be honest. You can never get in trouble with the law. We have swift justice. What part of government do you think takes care of our justice? If you become a criminal, what part of our government? We have 3 branches of government. Which part do you think would deal with you if you were a criminal?
Legislative?
No.
Okay.
No.
What are the
No.
3 branches? Legislative, executive, and...
See, you're supposed to know this coming to our country. We gave you a little handbook. There are 3 parts of our government, and one of them deals with taking care of people who do break the law.
I know it.
All right, I'll ask you some other questions while you study that.
Next station. Let me just write an eye on here.
All right. My passport.
Yes, have your passport. Next station. Manifest, please. Do you have any children? Someone meeting you here? What kind of work did you do in the country you came from? You worked in a factory? What kind of factory? How much money do you have? What's the capital of the United States? How many years does the president serve? How many senators in Congress? For how long do we elect each senator? What's the voting age in the United States? There you go. Let me mark your.
Do you have any relatives here? Where are you going to live? Wonderful. How much money do you have with you? Hello? And how much is that with the American money? $5. Oh, yeah, but find yourself a nice apartment. Mr. Snyder, what kind of work do you do? What kind of a shop? You mean a factory? Howdy, Mr. Snyder. Do you have the name of any factories? I'm going to do a favor. I'm going to give you a name of the man to go see. I can see this guy right here. Right, I'm one. Mr. Snyder. Yeah, I leave okay, okay? Yeah, I leave now. I'm leaving. All right, you are released. I'm chilling out, okay? I'm gone. What's that? I'll be gone. Okay? No, man, I'm leaving. All right? Mr. Blackman said I could go. Come on, brother. Okay? Mr. Blackman says so. That's okay. He's the sergeant around here.
We have to go back to the cell line that we just got rejected.
No. Bye, brother. You go to a different one. All right.
Caitlin, welcome. What is your name?
Shannon.
Shannon, welcome to the United States. And you? Catherine. How was the trip over?
Rough.
Rough? It was rough. Were you sick?
No.
No? Do you have the right papers?
Yes, Dan.
May I see your papers, please?
Which ones?
The manifest. You sure this is correct? Because this is very important to have this. Very good. Very good. Shannon, very nice. This is correct also. Catherine? Very good. What are you going to do? Are you going to live with someone in the United States?
Our two uncles.
Your two uncles. Where is that?
In New York City.
Oh, in New York City. So you're right here close by. Shannon, where will you be living?
My two uncles.
Pardon me?
My two uncles.
Your two uncles. Are they here in New York?
Yeah.
The same? You're all together?
Same.
Oh, you're all sisters. Wonderful. So, and you're all going to be together as one family. America is a land of opportunity. If you work hard, if you study hard, you can become whatever you wish. It's a great melting pot. So again, we're very happy that you're here. We're very happy that you're here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. You get $5 American. What city are you going to work in? In Brooklyn. That'll be $1, please. American. I need to initial your passport. You're now going to go to the sweatshop and work there, and then you'll come back here with your, you get paid for your week's work. All right.
Sweatshop, are you prepared to work very hard? You are only going to be able to earn about $8 a week, which is what the average immigrant worked at this time. And this sweatshop makes flags. The flags must be done absolutely neatly, so we can sell them once you're done. So here is your materials. You may take your pencils to work, and you may work right over there. All kinds of flags to make examples from are right over there.
Do we need to write the date?
You don't have to write you can write the name on the back and write your name on the back.
We have to write the name of the man.
Finally, we'll drop in on McGinn School for their Earth Day activities. Mrs. Lawler is explaining how they raised money for the rainforest, and Principal Mrs. Newbaker will explain about their donated tree.
Well, I tell you what, on Saturday, aren't they really neat?
Saturday?
think they're really nice. Let me tell you what we're gonna do. Do you see those containers down there? Take one and put it.
Craig, fill it up.
Do you want to give me the pen and I'll keep writing on it? That's the color of my pen.
Stick it on the side of the milk carton to decorate it. Then we're going to put a little dirt in it, and you're going to get 2 or 3 seeds.
Use the same color on it. You can get brown. We both got brown. We both got the same.
Yes, we do, and that's great bag. Where it is.
Here.
Right here.
Come on. Okay, follow Mrs. Prairie. She's going to lead you in. Oh, to the door.
Excuse me. Where is the door?
You look like
Okay, listen, wait. Stop. Listen.
That's good, Alan. Keep your back up. That's plenty. You know what? That's too much. Can I give some of that to some? That's perfect. Okay. You need more now. That's good.
Where should I go when...
Now we're both good. You can both go over there, okay? A little more, okay? A little more, okay, Matt?
Maybe a little more.
That's good. Whoever's cup that is good. That's perfect. A little bit more, okay? That's perfect. Go ahead.
Can I get in?
That's your finger, okay?
Can I get
Okay, when you sit down, well, I think you need a little bit more. Go get a little bit more. Put it up to about the top of the stick.
This is true.
Okay, when you sit down, poke your finger in. Just a little hole.
I'm ready.
Here, I'm going to put them in, and then you already made your paws. We'll throw this out in the dirt. You got to cover up
Marigolds.
I'm trying to blow it out.
Then we need to water.
Oh, that was very smart, Matthew. Not enough then, right? Where do you think we have to put it?
Who needs seeds?
Okay,
raise your cups if you need a
Beautiful
seed.
flower. Do you think that's going to help make the world more beautiful?
Raise your
On
cup
this,
if you
this
need
nice gift for the earth. For
Raise your cup if you need What flowers are they?
whatever. I wanted to say
Yeah.
All right, you take care of them, okay? I'll just put them in some little wagon. Wait a minute here, let me get the whole.
Can you see through all of the cup now? No. What part can't you see through? Where the dirt is. Can you see through part of the cup? Yes. Be careful. Don't take your cup and go like this with it, because what's going to happen? It's all going to fall out, right? Does anyone need more peanut butter?
Yes, we do. We have it right here. Yeah, we've been
Listen carefully. Okay. Are you listening? And then we're going to
I'll give everybody a stick. One in the partners. No, everybody, because then this way. You know what? Can you take those? Take one and pass it. Take one and pass it. All right. Now.
Okay, guys.
Does anyone need more peanut butter? Okay. We got it on there. Any more? No. Yes.
It's the ball express. I have.
other side. Guys, how you doing?
What you're looking at is a creature of the rainforest. And here we are at McGinn School, walking down the corridor, which has been beautifully decorated to look like a rainforest by our third grade students. We even have a waterfall. Let's back up and see if we can see the waterfall, the blue waterfall. And as we go down the hall, you'll see the trees, and you'll see all the creatures of the rainforest. Research has been done on many of these animals. We have found out all the products produced and all the problems with depleting the rainforest. Let's continue down past this Jungle Creek Library. Ah, the Rainforest Library window, that Mrs. Lawler's class is in here. And Mrs. Lawler is going to tell us about some very special projects that her class have done to aid the preservation of the rainforest. So come with me. Here's Mrs. Lawler to introduce her class.
A lot of boys and girls during the month of April at McGinn got involved in Adopt the Acre program, a program that's designed to save rainforest around the world. We decided to learn a little bit about rainforest, and we found out that over 2/3 of all the plants and animals in all the world live in the rainforest, that the rainforest provides us with a lot of medicines and a lot of products that we all use. We had a bake sale here at McGinn that the parents baked for at open house, and we saved over $200 to be donated to the rainforest. And the children of McGinn also had a mini health snack sale mid-morning, and we raised about $300 for the rainforest. Many of the classes at McGinn are saving on their own as well. Our class decided to save, and each day they brought money in that we counted and sorted and are going to donate to the rainforest. What are some of the ways that you guys save? Matthew?
I did a show, a taekwondo show. I took some pocket money and I sold some bookmarks and I got a lot of money.
Great. Chris?
My mom donated 50 cents and I donated 50 cents.
Okay. Brandon?
I brought in loose change to donate.
Great. Philip?
I brought in loose changes that we didn't need anymore. I brought in loose change too. For about 4 months, and I also brought in a bag of loose change.
Did.
I was a mother's helper twice, but one of the time the baby had to go to sleep, so I had to work with the mother. And I also picked sticks in my neighbor's yard, and I really enjoyed it.
Erica?
When I went to my new house, I helped decorate and put up all the stuff.
Marissa and Gina worked together. What did you girls do?
We went from house to house, asking for donations, and we sold things like pocketbooks and roller skates. And we also made a poster of sad rainforest and happy rainforest.
Dana?
I just had to loose change around the house.
Thank you.
Bookmarks and got loose change.
Nick?
I donated $1 to set the table for 6 people for a whole lunch. I collected pennies from my mom and dad at the end of the day for a week. I have loose change I donated. I have loose change I have, but I don't like loose change so I just gave it back. People walking. We also sold it to people who are working on the lawn, and we made $5.15.
I
If I
know
can get
many of you have heard the news reports and have been watching on television about the terrible tragedy that hit in Oklahoma City when the federal building was bombed. And there are many sad feelings that we all have because of that terrible tragedy and because of the many people and children who lost their lives in that bombing. Many things, nice things, have happened in communities because of that. Try to always remember the poor people that died, the unfortunate situation that happened, and to try to always keep them in our hearts and keep them in our memories. People have been donating money so that the school can be rebuilt, and some of our Books and Beyond money will go towards the nursery school that was bombed. People have been donating money so some of the families who lost loved ones could pay for their expenses and try to get their lives back together. And right here in Scotch Plains Fanwood, we have a very, very wonderful thing happening. How many of you know Parker Nurseries or Parker Greenhouse? Raise your hand. Yes, lots of you do, and lots of you have visited, especially this time of the year because you're planting flowers. Well, Parker felt the same way we did. They wanted to help us do something so that we would always remember the sad thing that happened in Oklahoma City and keep those people in our hearts. And what they are doing is they have donated this beautiful Sargent crabapple tree that will flower for many, many years at the McGinn School. So when we come by the front of the school and we see this beautiful tree, we'll always remember the people in Oklahoma City and the kindness of Parker Greenhouses for donating the tree so that we can have a memory here at McGinn School for those people. So
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Notebook. Notebook can be seen every Wednesday and every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we have a new show every 2 weeks.